So in case some of you have forgotten so soon, one of the many capacities I operate under when I'm getting stuff done, because I'm all about getting stuff done, is I'm a freelance investigator with an action-packed expense account. Remember that? Well, hopefully after today's video, that has an unusual link attached to it. You won't forget. Stay with me, people, because I'm just getting started. On Monday, the 10th of May, 2021. Yeah, Monday. Another day out at the Charlie Foxtrot, and that job site is getting painful. Painful, approaching unbearable. Don't know how much longer there's going to be work for me, yours truly. Well, we'll see what's going on. Like I said, Charlie Foxtrot. Never called a spade better than that one. Alright, now how many times, people, have I told you in the past? Rules for thee, but not for me. You are coming dangerous close to touching the third rail if you talk about Israel in less than flattering terms. You better say in plain ice with our favorite ally, or YouTube will drop you like a dirty pair of underwear. Break you like a bad habit. How well I know. But Jimmy Dore, he's a leftist progressive comedian I follow. Guy cracks me up. Seems to be well grounded when he touches a third rail and gets away with it. Pay attention to this, people.
So the Democrats are better than the Republicans, and you want to see why? 125 Democrats say military aid to Israel shouldn't depend on human rights record. Hey, let's stop with the purity tests. This is a real story. In response to growing calls for making U.S. aid to the Netanyahu government conditional on Israeli adherence to human rights laws, 330 members of the U.S. House of Representatives signed a letter insisting that $3.8 billion in annual military aid the United States provides Israel remain unconditional. Things that are unconditional: aid to Israel and not giving a fuck about you. Those are things that are unconditional. Here we go. The letter was signed by virtually all of the Republicans and over half of the Democrats. Bipartisanship, baby! The lawmakers' overwhelming bipartisan opposition to conditioning aid is not a product of political pressures coming from their constituents. Polls show that barely 1/3 of U.S. voters and barely 1/10 of Democrats oppose such conditions on foreign aid, meaning they support putting conditions on the foreign aid. That's what that means. That's written pretty awkwardly, but that's what that means, right? Yeah. So polls show that barely 1/3 of voters and 1/10. So most people want to put conditions on the aid.
Yes. Yeah, it is a weird.
That is such a weird.
It's a little
backwards, inside out way to write that. Since the Biden administration is already firmly committed to continuing unconditional military aid to Israel's right-wing government, the letter appears to be a reaction to the recent introduction of a bill. That bill would prohibit U.S.-provided arms and security assistance from being used in violations of international humanitarian law, such as the military detention and abuse of children, the demolition of homes, illegal confiscation of Palestinian property, or the annexation of occupied land.
Oh, he goes on for another 9-10 minutes on that one and totally gets away with it. He put that baby up on May 8th, and it's still up there, people. So, amazing. June 8th, people, is right around the corner. And what is June 8th? Think 1967. Think USS Liberty. Think I won't have to say something about that? An old sailor? Yeah, better think again. Because, oh yeah, I got something to say about that event. Now, about the unusual link attached to this video. And I hope this comes through for you, people. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult how to describe to get to this one. But we'll try, if we have to, in another future video. It's an interview with Yossi Gerbitz. Yep, a distant cousin of Murray's. And the shocker is, it's up and has been up on YouTube since 2012. Do the math. That's almost 10 years. But I, your flexible, most fluid, and incredibly humble messenger, found it on GolfAlphaBravo.com. See, I do the doing, so you don't have to. Now, Mr. Gerbitz is speaking Yiddish, and this dude talks fast. How fast? Faster than the person typing the captions in English, that is the translation. So keep your finger on the pause button, people, because you need to hear this. It's only 12 minutes. Come on, Punky. It's only 12 minutes. Can't you read? Well, I don't know. I never did ask you that before. I've also mentioned before the universal rule. Remember, both sides, Team Good and Team Evil, must disclose to the public. Why? So you can't plead the ignorance excuse, the ignorance defense. I didn't know. I never knew that. That will fall on deaf ears, people. So consider this link serious evidence of what I have been trying to tell you for over 2 years. Yeah, it's Monday. Wonder if the wind's going to blow today. Sorry, people. I got stuff to do. And unfortunately, it's going to start out at the Charlie Foxtrot.